It's the number 21 UConn Huskies against the Owls of Temple from the Liacouras Center in Philadelphia. Here are the standings in the American. Cincinnati continues to hold on to a slim lead over Louisville with a tie for third place, a group that has 4 in the loss column, including UConn. Temple in the home white. Connecticut controls the opening tip. Lasan Chroma, this graduate student transfer from GW. Shabazz Napier gives it up to Daniels, testing that range, and misses the opening shot. Fight for the rebound controlled by Quentin DeCozy. Pepper has great range. Has a tough time getting his own shot, though. Work him around the screen. Great pass. Got it to Lee, and Lee tries to put it up with the left hand. Offensive rebound, and the pass back to Lee. Couldn't control it. I think he was looking for offensive rebounding position. What a great pass that was for the easy layup. Napier is brilliant.
He wasn't even looking at him. He looked the defensive way. He knew the post was going to be at the rim. That's an easy one.
Leads the team in assists, rebounds, and scoring. Nice drive in the bucket for Will Cummings, playing tonight with a knee bruise. Kevin Ollie now 40 and 15. That's a winning percentage of 72.7, the best in Connecticut history for anyone that's coached more than 20 games. Brilliant start to his career. Amita Brima got that foul, his first, and a three-point play to give Temple its first lead.
And Will Cummings did a great job taking it right into the shot blocker's chest.
And he can block shots. Chroma. And that's a moving screen on DeAndre Daniels.
You know, fast break basketball, it's the guys without the ball that have got to work really hard. And look how UConn spaces the floor. And he's looking the defensive way, but he absolutely sees where his teammate is going to run. And he's on the floor. Everybody else benefits.
Cummings guarded by Boatwright. Pepper gives it up. Cummings back to Dalton. Pepper into the lane, little floater in and out. Lee tried to keep it alive but couldn't. Brima with the rebound, and Boatwright trying to push it. Another great pass. He is unbelievable.
Mike, at practice today, Kevin Ollie talked about the importance of Amita getting the screen in transition and sprinting to that rim. Shabazz does a great job finding again.
Napier 4th in the conference in assist to turnover ratio. Brima trying to create trouble down low, but good hard work by Temple, and Anthony Lee is the poster child for hard work. He never quits.
Inside shots lead to inside rebounds. DeCozy got it to the rim, and Lee cleaned it up.
Boatwright had the shot, passed on it, and then had it tipped and threw it away. It's a good start for Temple. Good drive by Pepper. Rejected. Lee into the body of the shot blocker, but he can't convert. Good job by Brima to stand his ground.
He sure did, Mike. Never left the floor.
Napier fouled on the way in. Been a tough year for Fran Dunphy. He's not used to this. 6 straight winning seasons, 6 straight NCAAs. He would have to win the conference tournament to pull it off this time, and that's a tall order. But he has done a brilliant job here in Philadelphia.
You know, only 8 teams in the country have been to 6 straight NCAA tournaments. It is something.
Last foul was on Watson, his first. Temple so thin they cannot afford to foul. They've got to play defense with their bodies and not their hands. Niels Gaffey, number 5, into the game. Great outside shooter. Napier putting on a little show with his dribble. Gets it to Croma. No. Pepper. Dalton Pepper always trying to spot up on the break, hoping for that open three. DeCozy will try it. Grima easily clears. Napier, good ball movement. Gaffai, good drive, can't convert. Tipped out to DeCozy. Cummings, bumped at the baseline, little floater. Crowd wanted a foul, didn't get it. Napier, always with his head up. He'll try a three. Another rebound to DeCozy. This is a really good start for Temple, Bruce.
It is, Mike. And Brad Dumphy does his tempo being, even though he's short on depth, UConn is such a that if he can get some numbers down and score in transition, that's to his advantage.
Baseline drive, offensive foul called on Watson. That's 2 on Devontae Watson. 15:34 to go first half in a close one. Back in Philadelphia at the Liacouras Center, and Temple with an early 5-4 lead over number 21 UConn. And Temple going through the middle of a stretch where they play 5 top 25 teams in a row. They have never done that in the history of this program.
Welcome to the American Conference.
And thank you so much.
Well, their bench is depleted. Temple, you know, they lost 5 guys who averaged 75% of their offense a year ago. All of them were their best defenders. And when you only bring 8.8 points off your bench, it's hard to play defense. It's hard to have that punch. And that's why they've been in games, but they can't finish them.
They had one transfer who was supposed to be eligible and help this year. He turned out not to be eligible. Then Daniel Dingle had what appears to be a season-ending knee surgery.
Mike,
and they were going to be thin to begin with.
Yeah, they only got 9 guys dressed for tonight's basketball game.
One of those, it would be a miracle if he played.
Oh, yeah. And UConn will have 9 guys average double-digit figures in their minutes. And that's why their chemistry is so good.
UConn has hit only 2 of its first 7 shots. Great pass to Anthony Lee from Dalton Pepper. He's looking at Napier saying, if you can do the no-look thing, so can I.
Well, that's exactly right. That's exactly the same play that UConn was running. The ball screen and the early slip. No midline defense for UConn.
Gaffai, little baseline drive, drops it off. Nolan misses. Cummings cut off at the baseline. Pepper into the lane. That's Mark Williams, number 10, in for the first time. DeCozy misses the long shot. Here comes Boatwright. UConn has missed 6 straight shots from the floor, and that'll take care of that streak as Boatwright with a great reversal.
Well, he is one of the fastest, quickest guards in all college basketball. But the key to being a good fast-breaking team is to rebound the basketball. And that's the thing this UConn team is doing better than any other team in the American Conference. And they do it by committee.
Pepper, a 3. Got it. This kid can get so hot. When he put up 33 against Cincinnati, he was 8 for 8 from downtown.
And Kevin Ollie is out there going, Niels, press up on him. Make him put on the ground.
No basket. The foul will be on Cummings. His first.
That's just, again, another, as you described it, Mike, a no-look pass by Pepper and a really good slip by Lee. And when you're guarding him, you got to be hip pocket. And Niels gets away from being hip pocket. Watch Pepper move without the basketball, hands and feet ready. Now you must press up and make him put the ball down the floor and trust your help. And Niels doesn't. And
Gaffai is somebody who ought to know because he's a terrific three-point shooter.
Probably exactly the same cover. They're both better from 3 than 2.
Napier, number 2 in the conference in free throw shooting, and this is a Connecticut team that as a club is 6th in the country. You cannot foul them and send them to the line. They will bury you with free throws.
They got a chance to be one of the best free throw shooting teams and three-point shooting teams in the illustrious history of UConn basketball.
You bet. They're just off the top marks all time. Pepper looking for a screen, goes baseline. Has to kick it outside to Williams, and Williams will knock down the three. Guess what he shoots from the outside? 20%.
That is his third three on the season. But he's coming off a terrific performance against SMU. He had 10 points and 7 rebounds, and the freshman is feeling good about his game.
One and done again for UConn as Daniels tried to penetrate. That's tipped. Williams goes inside to Lee. Pretty good ball movement by Temple. Williams, offensive foul.
Foul number 10, Mark Williams. That's his first. Team foul number 4.
Watch the three ball here. We got a little baseline penetration and the kick out. Nobody guards Michael Williams because he's not a three-point shooter. And I'm telling you right now, when Dalton Pepper drove baseline, he was looking to pass the ball. There was no place for him to go. And did a nice job of not turning it over and getting his teammate open one.
Napier, long three. Boy, good box out by Temple. Jimmy McDonald is into the ball game, number 15, and Pepper is feeling it.
This is fun to watch. The Philly kid. Hey, I don't know if this could be a trap game. I mean, UConn played Memphis at home in a big one. They got SMU Saturday. Could they be looking past these guys?
Bruce, this is why I said they could be a very dangerous team in the tournament. Coming up, our resident bracketologist is here, Joe Lunardi. An update on who's in and who's out.
And what will the committee do in evaluating the 3 games the Cowboys lost without their star?
All right, Joe, thanks. The Thursday night showcase presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups continues at 11. Number 24, Gonzaga, taking on BYU. That's following our game tonight on ESPN2. Also live on Watch ESPN. This is Niels Gafai, a very good free throw shooter who knocks down a pair. Temple has hit 4 of its last 5 shots after starting 2 of 9. That's why they've got a 5-point lead. Josh Brown, number 1, is checked in. Pepper with a runner at the baseline, no. Napier on the run. They blow the bunny. This is one of the few times, probably all year, that Temple and Fran Dunphy has been able to go to his bench. He's got a lead, give a couple of starters a breather.
He actually got 3 points off his bench so far. That's practically a miracle.
McDonald will try a 3. Nope.
That's a pick and pop Euro 4 if I've ever seen one.
Yes, sir. UConn, such a good outside shooting ball club. Really hasn't been able to find his range yet tonight. Chroma back in. Drops it off to Gafai. Pull-up jumper, got it.
What makes the floor open is the fact that UConn will put 3 or 4 guys out there that you have to guard from 3, and that opens up the lane for Niels Gafai to make a very nice under control penetration.
And he's gotten better and better at that shot fake and finding space to shoot that mid-range jumper. DeCozy spins, drops it off to McDonald. 10 to shoot for DeCozy. Tipped. McDonald fakes the shot, drops it back out to DeCozy. 3 to shoot. He drives into a double team. Tough fadeaway jumper, but the offensive rebound and the follow by Williams. And the foul on top of it.
Tell you what, Mark Williams just beasted his way into the offensive glass, and that's where this Temple team is beating UConn. Look at him come into the backside. He puts a body right on top of Nolan, and the freshman gets a nice opportunity at a three-point play.
Williams not much of a shooter, but he is tough underneath with that big body, 6'8", 240 out of Cleveland. Had a big game in that SMU upset, 10 points and 7 boards. And the boards is what they desperately need.
Well, there's no question. He's got that body. It's thick, and he absolutely knows how to use it. And he's got some skills from the perimeter as well.
Hey, the bench is crushing it tonight. 6 points.
I love it. No, Fran Duffy loves it.
Yes, sir. Boatwright, a little floater. What a nice touch he is.
Yeah, Mike, he can do that any time he wants. You know, Ryan Boatwright is feeling some of the pressure. He wants to play at that next level. And I talked to the coach a little bit earlier, and they felt like he was putting too much pressure on himself earlier in the season to prove it every time out.
Cummings going to be called for a hook. That's 2 on Will Cummings.
You got to back off Ryan Boatwright because he is so quick. And anytime he wants to get to that elbow, he will get to that elbow. And Kevin Ollie tells me that one of the biggest turnarounds for Boatwright this year, the fact he's just in the gym. He's living in the gym. He's trusting his coach. And he is working at his game. He's not worrying about what's going to happen to him after this season. He's focusing on this season.
18-14. Temple with the lead. 9:18 to go in the first half. Boatwright too strong on the three. Another rebound to Pepper.
That's NBA basketball right there. He made the last basket, so what does his coach do? He rings his number up again.
DeCozy, and he's fouled before the shot. It's going to be on Chroma. Nerlens Noel. Love the haircut.
I'll tell you what, he could block some shots.
Yes, sir.
He's not played yet for the 76ers, but they think he's got a very promising future. If he's healthy, he had a chance to be number 1, not number 6 coming out of the draft.
Pepper. Lee almost had the offensive rebound. You know, you talk about the NBA for guards who were 6 feet, 6'1". That's Boatwright and Napier. That's pretty tough to do anymore. Guards don't get drafted in the first round at 6 feet, 6'1".
They don't, Mike. And the one thing that little guards have got to do is they've got to be able to extend the defense and really shoot the 3 ball. And both of those guys are capable of that.
No one having trouble with the handle. 7 to shoot. Boatwright has it. Pepper trying to guard him. That's a tough mismatch. But Pepper staying right in his grill. And then Boatwright buried it anyway. Are you kidding?
That's a little showtime from East Aurora High School in Illinois.
Oh.
And Pepper did a great job of staying up on it.
Didn't he? Gives away all that height and just drained the 3. Pepper gets a lot of attention whenever he touches the ball. Always looking to double team him and make him give it up. DeCozy. Pepper, 6 to shoot. Down the lane, had it knocked away. Boatwright, 2 on 2. Back to Daniels. And the trailer with a jam, and UConn has the lead.
A great job by DeAndre Daniels of staying with the play. And a good job of Boatwright identifying his trailer.
UConn with a 7-0 run to regain the advantage at Temple.
Boatwright has the basketball. You've got to respect by Dalton Pickford's giving up side. Here, he stays up and puts it right in his head. And then in transition, he sees trailer, but you'd never know it. Goes to the rim, and Daniels trails. Great look by DeAndre Daniels. He destroyed Temple in their first go-around. And I'll tell you what, when those 2 guys play well, this UConn team goes to a different level.
I still can't believe Boatwright got that shot over Dalton Pepper. 6'5", and was right in front of him.
That's just time in the gym. That's just time on the playground being guarded by those guys and making that tough shot. With great confidence in UConn guards.
Pepper back the other way, got it inside to Lee, but he couldn't find the right angle to shoot. Back to Pepper. Lee got a hand on it again. Still loose. Taken down by UConn. Ahead to Chroma. And Chroma will score, and he draws the foul from DeCozy. Last couple of possessions have not been good for the Owls. Now they're down by 3. Jay Fair and the Orange. Then at 9, Aaron Gordon, the number 4 Arizona Wildcats against Colorado Saturday prime time. Presented by DirecTV. Both games on ESPN and live on Watch ESPN.
Like that's a 9-0 run for UConn. And Temple, in their last 5 trips, 0 for 2 from the field, 3 turnovers. UConn's got 6 points off those turnovers and 6 fast break points. Temple's got to take care of the basketball, and Fred Dumpy's teams usually do.
DeCozy fires too strong. They got to make shots too. If they're going to beat UConn, they have to be hot from the floor.
There's no question.
Napier will play the shooting guard on this possession, and Boatwright will run the club. Caught up at the baseline. Napier threw it away. A rare turnover for him. DeCozy. Good pass. Pepper. Good body control for the reverse, but he missed.
It's that size and that length. Grima and Daniels are both there at the rim. Made Pepper change his shot.
Promo with a runner knocked out of bounds by DeCozy to UConn.
I always like to watch what teams will run on this under basket out of bounds set. Having the ball underneath their own basket is a very dangerous place to have it. When UConn runs, they try to score out of this.
Grima, who has done nothing offensively, little jump hook. Quite an upside there, isn't there?
Well, when you take that ball to basket, you're patient like that. He gave a little peek over the right shoulder to the middle and drops that left shoulder using his strong right hand. He couldn't do that when he first got to UConn.
Dangerous time of the game here. Things can get away from Temple in a hurry. DeCozy, tough fadeaway shot. Hit it. Quentin DeCozy out of Union, New Jersey. That ends a drought of 4 minutes and 40 seconds. UConn now 6 out of its last 7 after a horrible start. Napier. Good kick out into the corner. Chroma for 3, and Pepper with a rebound. UConn loaded with such great three-point shooters. Pepper on the way in has it knocked away. Out to Temple.
I'd love to see Dalton Pepper do more of that. He's a 90% free throw shooter, but he's only attempted 2 free throws per basketball game. He was 6 for 6 in the line at the end against SMU, so I'm glad to see him trying to take that ball to contact.
Calhoun on the floor for UConn, number 21. He's guarding Dalton Pepper right now. Missed a couple of ball games with an injury. Brown. Boatwright spins into the lane and scores.
That's a great take by Ryan on that end, and then down to the other end, Dalton Pepper's got Calhoun on him down there. He's got to recognize that's the 3rd or 4th guy for UConn that's guarding him, and probably the 3rd or 4th best defender. He needs to be more aggressive with these possessions.
Boatwright now with 9. Nice spin by Cummings, and Will Cummings with the bucket. He has 5. It's 25-22.
We weren't sure how effective Will was going to be. He's got a left knee contusion. He got that in practice on Tuesday. He did start. They can't afford to play without him.
No.
But he's playing with a little bit of pain, a little bit of swelling.
Unless you're missing a limb for Temple, you're playing. Napier, another brilliant no-look pass. Grima with the flush.
In that ball screen, Temple's got to get their hands up and use their size over Napier. Did you see how he threw that ball? Almost like a little hook shot, just because he doesn't have the size to throw over the top of the track.
4 first-half assists. Step back 3. Knocked out of bounds, out to Temple, but a wide-open shot for Pepper that he couldn't convert.
Well, it's great to see Will Cummings out there spinning and winning and getting 2. And then Shabazz Napier with a hook shot over the top to Amita Bryant. 5-point game.
Of SMU, which is why the Mustang seed is where it is Fournette.
Offensive rebound off the Lee miss, and Mark Williams making his presence known again.
That is Temple's 6th offensive rebound. And Joe, I think Cincinnati 13-1 in a 5-bid league.
Absolutely can move up.
Can they move up?
Sure. But what I would say now is, what's their best win out of the conference? They lost badly to Xavier in Newport in Cincinnati. They also lost at the Pit in New Mexico. They did beat Pittsburgh by a point in a game that may have set the sport back 10 or 20 years.
Nice move by DeAndre Daniels. I want to see the parade to your front yard.
My wife doesn't.
Pepper having a tough time from the outside. 1 out of 4 from long range. Another beautiful pass, and Daniels with a jam.
That's Shabazz Napier's 5th assist. He doesn't have a basket in this basketball game yet, but he is absolutely the MVP with what he does for his team.
It's nice to see somebody who was such a terrific scorer, 2nd in the conference, looking to pass the ball when he has the opportunity.
Well, when his teammates are looking for him, they're trying to time their steps, and they know if they can get their advantage, disadvantage, he'll get it to them.
DeCozy with a miss. Napier with a rebound. He leads this club in rebounds.
What doesn't he lead the club in? Rebounding, steals, assists, scoring. And you know, the biggest thing is he's starting to trust his teammates this year more than ever before. He realizes he cannot do it alone.
This is Daniels. Got him isolated one-on-one. He'll try the jump shot. Daniels has range. Nolan offensive rebound. And Nolan with a foul.
Great defense by Mark Williams. Anthony Lee has got to clean that up on the backside. I'll give DeAndre Daniels that jump shot and hit his face all day long. Cummings
with a drive and draws a foul. ESPN's Journey to the Tourney presented by Sonic. Saturday at 7 on ESPN. Also live on Watch ESPN. And that should be a great ball game. The first one certainly was.
Well, I'll tell you what. Syracuse got it. They were bound to lose at some point. But they got
Boston College.
Well, Boston College, my alma mater, played them tough up at BC because they've got guys that can shoot the basketball and they play at a slower tempo. But Syracuse had, in their last 2 wins, they were by 3 points. This was bound to happen. And guess what, Mike? They got to go to Duke. They got to go to Maryland. They got to go to Virginia. The Orangemen have got a tough road to hoe.
Cummings knocks down the free throw. 1:28 to go in the half. The lead is 8. The biggest lead of the game, you just saw it, was 9. Cummings will come out of the ball game for the last 124, presumably. Napier may have overdone it with behind-the-back bounce pass. That was almost a turnover. Nolan, good save. This is Calhoun. Being a little careless with the ball on this possession. Now Napier with 7 on the clock. Pepper in his face. 2 to shoot. He's got to force it, and it's a shot clock violation. One of the few times you will see Napier in that position where he doesn't come through.
No, but you know what? Guys have got to move without the basketball to get open. Everybody stood around and watched him. And you know Kevin Ollie just not real happy with that possession.
Isn't it funny when a possession starts that way with a bad pass, but they save it? It usually doesn't end well, even though there might be 30 seconds in between.
Well, Mike, you talked about the fact that it was a sloppy possession, for UConn. They got a chance to obviously extend the lead. Temple, with at least 2 possessions. They got a chance for 2 possessions. Well, at least 1. Got a chance to get this thing a little tighter.
Cummings back in. He'll bring it up. Boatwright waiting for it.
I'm surprised Fran Dunphy didn't go 2 for 1. The reason why I said 2 possessions is I might have pushed and got a quick one, so then I would definitely get the last shot. Cummings with the drive had it knocked away inside by Nolan, and now UConn can hold for the last shot. Now, to my point, if Temple had pushed the ball up the floor there, they would have got themselves a shot, and then UConn make or miss, they would not have had the last shot.
2 for 1 opportunity.
2 for 1 opportunity missed.
Napier's just been spectacular. Usually we're talking about him scoring. Tonight's assists and brilliant assists.
But one of the things that he does is he really doesn't care about scoring. He'd rather get his other players involved. Now his scoring averages against unranked teams 16 points. Overall 18 points. Conference 20 points. And against ranked teams 24 points. So what he's doing here at Temple is he's saying, I'm going to get some of these other guys involved. And if this thing gets tight in the second half, okay, fine. I'll take over, and I'll do the scoring.
The statistics show he's just better against better opponents. Let's check in with Joe Lunardi again. Joe?
First, an X and O question. Why don't more coaches in college play 2-for-1 at the end of the first half? It's very rare to see.
You know, I don't know. It's sort of instinct. You know, as soon as I looked at the shot clock, I said Temple was going to get 2 possessions, and I was wrong. But that's because, obviously, I was reacting to what I would do in that clock. Doesn't make it right. That was just my reaction.
Reach in, steal, and a save. Then they throw it right back to Chroma. Williams did a great job giving them the opportunity. Now Boatwright double team with 2 seconds on the clock and the miss. So neither team able to convert on their last possession. And Boatwright, 9 points in the first half, 9 of UConn's 33. The score here at the half, 33-25, UConn over Temple. Now back to the studio, Steve Weissman, Dan Dockich, Andy Katz. Number 21 UConn leads Temple. It was a great start for Temple, but they ended up in the first half shooting only 10 out of 30 from the floor, Bruce, and that did them in.
Yeah, UConn is terrific defensively. But you know what? Temple did a pretty good job of running UConn off the three-point line. All things being equal, the difference was transition, turnovers. And when the ball got into Shabazz Napier's hands, there was really nothing that Temple could do about it because he is always playing at his own pace, throwing the ball, a no-look pass to DeAndre Daniels. Watch his eyes. He looks the defense away. And on this one here, the ball doesn't even stay in his hands, but for just the briefest moment, and he finds, again, Amina Brima at the rim. What are all these plays? They're all at the rim. The slip screen off the top. Head up off the on the fast break, and again, ball at the rim, a place only his teammates can get it. He doesn't have any points, but he's made a huge difference in the first half.
He plays like that, he doesn't need any points. Temple actually out-rebounded UConn in the first half, 19-16, but they are still facing a deficit of 8 points.
They played with effort, and they play with energy. And that's all coach could ask.
It's very difficult for them to sustain. Bad pass by DeCozy. 2-on-1. Boatwright with the assist. The layup to Daniels. Largest lead of the ball game, 35-25.
You just couldn't ask for a worse possession to come out of the half.
Yeah.
They've got 7 turnovers already, and you can't turn the ball over against UConn because they're so good at transition.
And Temple's not the kind of defensive team that can force turnovers on the other end.
No, they're not going to create much offense from their defense. They're going to have to make shots in the half court and be solid in the defensive end.
Pepper kicks it out to Cummings into the corner to Cozy. Napier, some players just have a sense of where the ball's going to be when it comes off the rim. One of the reasons he's their leading rebounder. The other is his hustle and his tenacity. Chroma around the Brima screen. Brima lost it out of bounds.
The big Colt got his feet tangled there just a little bit. When he gets a little bit more mature and physical, he'll widen that base out. You know, he plays with both feet together, and as a result, he came tumbling down.
He will have really good moments and then really bad moments that remind you he's only played basketball for 4 years. Grew up in Ghana playing soccer. Pepper got a good screen this time. Couldn't hit the shot. Those are the ones that have to go down. Boatwright. And DeCozy is going to be called for the foul. He wanted a charge, but he was too deep to get that call.
Well, there's not going to be a charge there. He's entitled to his position. But, Mike, I think at the end of the play, he reached in, and obviously Ryan Boatwright did a great job of creating the contact and getting himself to the foul line, and he's also an outstanding free throw shooter.
77% from the line this year. 10 points for Boatwright. Made this point before playing the same backcourt with Napier. Doesn't get the credit that he probably deserves. I mean, when you talk about Batman and Robin, nobody mentions Robin first.
It is the dynamic duo, and Ryan did not play the first time these two teams tangled at UConn. He was at home. He had that funeral for his cousin who he was very close to, and Ryan's had a lot of issues, a number of issues with his family and some different things off the floor, and he's battled it, and he's playing really good basketball for this club right now.
The lead is grown to 11. Cummings drives into traffic, tries to kick into the corner. Nobody there but blue shirts. One turnover after another for Temple to start this half, and Fran Dunphy has seen enough after 2 minutes and 8 seconds of the second.
Partner Mike Patrick, they're not getting older, they're getting better.
Would have been a big bucket for Cummings. As it is, he draws the foul and will be on Daniels. One correction, Coach, I'm getting older.
You know, you wonder how runs take place. And since Temple took that big lead early, they were up 18-12. They've been outscored 25-7. And the reason has been UConn's defense. They're 3 for 5, their last 15. That's 20%. That's what happens. You just get clamping down at the defensive end. You rebound, you run, and that's how you extend your lead, slowly but surely.
Cummings, an 83% free throw shooter in the top 10 in the conference, makes 1 of 2. The lead's cut to 11. Temple led by as many as 6. UConn has led by a dozen. Do a really good job when Napier gives up the ball of getting it right back to him.
Well, they know where to go with it. They know where to get his hands in. The ball's on this side of the floor. It's Boatwright's turn.
6 to shoot. Boatwright for 3. Bryma kept it alive, but rebounded by Temple.
Temple's going to have to get their second win. They rebound. You can just see they're not running like they did early in the game.
We need a couple of buckets from that guy. And Dalton Pepper knocks down the 3. He has 8 points, but he's hit only 2 out of 5 from long range, and a couple of them he's been wide open.
Yeah, that one there, Lasan Chroma, has done a really good job against him. Didn't press up. And sometimes you can press up a great shooter. Doesn't matter.
Daniels with the answer. DeAndre Daniels shoots 45.8% from long range. That's second in the conference. And UConn has 4 guys in the top 10 in that department.
Mike, when he plays well, they are a different basketball team. When he gets fully engaged, he can be an awfully tough matchup.
DeCozy, good head fake. Got it inside to Anthony Lee. And Lee with a bucket and a foul.
Now, teams don't utilize that baseline bounce pass or the baseline entry nearly enough. Lee's got that. He's got the drop step. He's left-handed, so he drops over his right shoulder, left hand. Little shot fake to keep the shot blocker off balance. And I think for Temple to be successful, they've got to go inside to Anthony Lee more often.
Got Daniels up in the air, drew his 3rd foul. Lee can cut the lead to 8. And does.
Well, he's a double-double machine. He's got 10 double-doubles on the season so far. And you know, he's a Christian rapper. He's got one of the most flamboyant, strongest personalities on this basketball team. Those pink shoes that he's wearing right now, he probably likes to wear those all the time.
That's for cancer awareness in this game, by the way. Napier got away with a carry there, gets it out to Neil Scafai, and he walks. The 6th turnover by UConn. Only 6, not incognito tonight with the gold shoes. Is that your I'm not playing dinner?
No, that's not a training meal. That's not a training table right there. He's got fries. He's got chicken tenders. He's got like a little sweet and sour pork, I think, in there. Where's the Philly cheesesteak, Nerlens?
Dessert.
Back to live action.
8 points. Lee backing in. Brima keeps him out. And the three by Cummings. Will Cummings, a 31% long-range shooter. Here comes Temple again. You knew they'd have a run at the start of the half, and almost a steal by Cummings.
Love to see what coaches are going to do coming out of timeouts. And for Fran Dumpy, it's to get the ball down there on the block so that Lee can go over that right shoulder, left hand. Brima takes it away. He kicks it out for Will Cummings. His feet set. They practice that every single day. That's easy offense.
2 out of 4 from long range for Temple. Gaffai with that great range can't hit this one. Lee chases down the rebound in the corner.
Different energy for Temple coming out of that timeout.
The halftime rest always seems to give them a little more energy. Williams open for 3. Has it blocked by Brima. The big guy comes out on him. DeCozy caught up at the baseline. Lee. And they throw it away. That's another one of those possessions, sloppy from the start. You just knew it wasn't going to end well.
One of the reasons why I try to save my timeouts and not call them very often. I like to let my players, when they get in those situations like that, Mike, he knows he's going to turn the basketball over. Just call timeout. I'd rather give him a timeout and save the possession.
Napier colliding with Cummings, and Cummings hits him again and picks up the foul. That'll be 3 on Will Cummings. An ill-advised way to pick one up, middle of the court, right in front of one of the officials, and runs into him.
Well, I think Napier's smart enough to, make the contact first, and Will Cummings is going to go ahead and answer it, but you don't answer it when all the eyes are upon you. Shabazz did it when he was off the ball trying to get open, and Cummings made contact when he had the ball. Not a good idea.
Chroma defies physics and wedges one between the rim and the backboard. You can try that all day, and it's not going to work.
That's not his game. He's better putting the ball down the floor.
Alternate possession gives it back to UConn. Napier, off balance 3, buried it anyway. Now they say he had a toe on the line. It's a 2.
Well, a lot of guys, when they got the ball in their left hand, like to go left to pull, and that's exactly what Shabazz Napier did. He'd been driving right around people. This time he pulled up.
Pepper lost it on the way in. Temple can ill afford turnovers. They want to have a comeback here. Boatwright, good pass to Chroma. And a late whistle and the foul on Lee.
Yeah, they're probably going to want to look at this and see if that's the right one. Is that Tootsie behind the line, Mike?
Looks like it. But they called it a 2, so they're going to have to find a lot of evidence to overturn it.
Yeah, I think they're just going to kind of let that one go. And in the last play, I'm not so sure that Lassant Chroma wasn't passing the ball to Amita Brima. I'm surprised that Fran Dumpy didn't question this being a 2-shot foul. Now, Fran is one of the best guys in all of college basketball.
Yes, he is.
He's one of the most likable gentlemen. He does more in this community. He does more for charities. He's a teacher. He's an educator. He teaches management, theory and practice, from the locker room to the boardroom. It's an honors course here on campus in the Fox School of Business.
Right now, he needs a bucket from his club. They're down by 9, 13:35 to go. Cummings can't get inside. Pull-up jumper way short. DeCozy with the offensive rebound. Missed, but drew the foul. It's going to be on Brima, only 2 on the 7-foot freshman.
Will Cummings is a crafty little point guard, and he can get into the lane. But in late clock situations, Mike, don't you feel a difference when Shabazz has got the ball and his team, and they're shooting and they're spacing? And when Will gets it, Will's got to make a tough 2. Temple doing a good job on the offensive glass, fighting for those second shots. And Will Cummings is not at 100%. He hurt that knee in practice on Wednesday. He's playing on a bum knee, and he still has 10 points.
I think one of the key things you mentioned was spacing, because UConn always seems to have excellent spacing, not so much for Temple.
Well, you can space all you want, but if you don't have guys on the floor that they're going to respect to shoot the basketball, they're not going to be guarded, and that's what makes UConn so very difficult to guard.
The lead is 7. UConn has won 6 of its last 7 ball games. And someone tossed something on the floor. That's why we had the whistle that stopped play. And they are trying to locate that person and hopefully grab him and throw him out of the Leah Cora Center.
Well, it came from the end zone. It came to the student section. The students are trying to police themselves a little bit. They're starting to point. But I don't know that we have the suspect yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, please refrain from throwing objects onto the court. Anyone caught throwing objects
there we go. Top left
to the home
in
team.
our screen. I got it.
Wish the officials could go to the monitor for that.
Yeah.
That's probably legal if they want to. I'm not sure.
Well, you know, then the NCAA will adopt a new rule for that one, Mike.
Napier. Nice drive. Floater won't go, though. DeCozy. Hold up. Wait for help. Gets to Brown. DeCozy was open momentarily. Boy, got caught up in the air, nearly turned it over. Brown. DeCozy, baseline drive against Nolan, and Nolan called for the foul. Number 1 on Philip Nolan, the sophomore from Milwaukee.
That's his first.
It's really hard to get there before the offensive player begins that upward motion. And Philip Nolan is not a great shot blocker. He's got great size and great length, and DeCozy understands that, takes it into contact, and gets himself a couple free throw attempts.
Knocks down the first, only a 65% shooter on the year. But he cuts the lead back to 6. Certainly Temple still in the hunt. Misses the second. The longer UConn allows them to hang around, the more dangerous they become. Try with the trap, and Boatwright able to get rid of it.
Coming off that free throw set, Fran Denby threw a little 1-2-2 zone pressure, see if he could create a turnover, make something happen with his defense. UConn handled it.
Gaffai. Nice move to get into the lane and draw the foul.
Well, great shooters will work really hard without the basketball. And that's what Niels Gaffai does. He runs that baseline. And Peppers dawns on him. He knows how to guard a shooter, but he overruns the ball right there. And again, a really nice jump stop and the take to the basket. Again, players getting better under Kevin Ollie. He did not have that in his arsenal a year ago.
It's a real good job of body control to make that drive, go to his left, back in the lane to create some space, then go back right to create the contact. It's a nice move.
Well, he's going to lead Kevin Ollie, and he's a member of the German men's basketball national team, and he is going to be a better player. He's still better from 3 than 2, but that shot fake and that take is a dimension he didn't have a year ago.
UConn as a team, 6th in the country in free throw shooting. They have missed only 1 so far tonight. DeCozy cut off. Last touch by UConn. 11:56 to go from Philadelphia. UConn with an 8-point lead over the Temple Owls.
Change there.
The drum beat, of course, from Wichita State will start. How come we're not number 1?
Well, they'll get there, but I do think if they finish the season where they're at right now, they should be a number 1 seed.
Pepper just got it off. And a foul on the rebound.
Foul on number 20.
We're going to call it a chroma.
That's his second.
His second, so a fresh 35.
I tell you, I went and watched Kevin Ollie's team practice early in the year, and all he did was talk about rebounding. He knew he wasn't going to have a dominant inside player. They are undefeated when they out-rebound their opponent. Right now, Temple is beating them in offensive glass.
DeCozy with a tough shot. Temple had the rebound, but Napier took it away. Just such a smart player. Knew exactly where that ball was going to go off the rim. Got there and with a quick hand stole it.
How many point guards lead their teams in rebounds?
Oh, he's got 7 rebounds and 5 assists. It should be only 1 turnover so far. Nolan cut off the baseline. Good defense by Williams. And then Lee lost it and dropped it right in the hands of Napier.
Gianni on the spot. Really good defense by Mark Williams. He held his ground. The freshman was strong. And those plays just drive a coach absolutely crazy.
Yeah, Fran Dunphy saw an opportunity there with an 8-point lead to get the ball back. Boatwright, nice drive. Tough shot in the lane, wouldn't go for him. And Temple players fighting over the ball again, and they called for a travel.
Mike, it's been that kind of year. You know, Temple's got this rebound here. All you got to do is grab it with 2 hands, but 2 guys go for the ball. They don't. And there's nobody else in the picture for UConn except Shabazz Napier.
Napier buries the jump shot. And you can say this about Temple. They have had buzzard's luck all year long.
Yep, they are a better basketball team than their record indicates. Those are the kind of plays that, you know, you obviously have to make here at home. You play good defense, you limit them to 1 shot.
Cummings, good head fake to get open. Got it to Anthony Lee, and Lee is upset at the hard foul by Gaffey. But a clean play, and Boatwright went down hard.
That was the number 25.
There was a lot of contact on that play.
Team foul number 5.
And he's in some pain.
Correction. That was on number 1, Josh Brown.
Yeah, he goes down in there, and the contact takes place right there. He looks like he's okay there. He got one from behind. Wasn't expecting that one, Mike.
Hallmark doesn't have a get well card for that one.
He thought that play was long gone. That was the last thing he was expecting.
Foul was on Cummings, his 4th. It's going to take a while to recover from.
Yeah. Do you put ice on that, Mike?
Not me. $9:55 left in this one. Chroma. Calhoun stepped back. Now it's up to Napier with 7 to shoot. Can't get inside. He'll launch. Brima, offensive rebound and a fresh 35.
Those are the kind of plays that you got to make on the road, right there.
Yep, for sure.
It deflates the home team. It deflates the crowd. UConn is absolutely in no rush. They're not interested in what kind of margin of victory here. They just want to go up and get this one on the road.
So there have been 3 possessions in a row where UConn had a chance to get the rebound, and 3 straight times they came up empty. Pepper trying to get a shoulder in front, and Gaffey is there for the block. Napier back the other way. He throws it away. Williams runs to a spot. Back to DeCozy. Had a 3 passed on it. Into the lane. In and out. And out of bounds to UConn.
I'll tell you what, Niels Gaffey is a pretty good athlete. Dalton Pepper trying to make something happen for his basketball team. You know, it's interesting, Mike. Visiting club, the more experienced club, the more talented club, they're patient. And Temple trying to get it done, rushing. You know, in that case, Pepper, pull the ball out, make them guard, get the shot you want.
UConn in the top 10 in the country in block shots, and it's not all Brima. Napier getting a little frustrated with hand checking. Pepper got that rebound. Temple desperate for a bucket here. They're down by 10. And UConn's defense has been really tough in the second half. Napier digs in against Pepper. Williams open for three. Good rebound, but an offensive foul will be called on Josh Brown. I believe it's going to be on Brown because he got the rebound. And will go the other way with 7:59 left.
I'll tell you what, UConn has done a terrific job defensively here. This half, only 3 field goals for Temple. 5 turnovers.
3 field goals in 12.5 minutes.
Yep. Having a bucket in over 7.5 minutes.
Brima calling for the ball in the lane, fouled by McDowell.
They'll play Brima one-on-one in the post all day long. But if he's going to shoot the basketball, he's going to shoot it over his left shoulder with the right hand. I'm surprised that once he kind of put that ball down on the floor, Temple didn't go down on him. But it's hard to when he's out there with 4 guards and 4 guys that can shoot the basketball.
Missed the first, he'll get another. Boatwright recovered from his previous injury, back in the ball game. Brima spins that one in, and the lead is 11.
I talked to Kevin Ollie about why they're such a great free throw shooting team. He told me it's because they work at it. They have contests, they compete with one another, they put pressure on each other in practice, and they know how important it is to win it, to make free throws in close games.
DeCozy for 3. It just won't go. And Bruce, that's the reason some teams are lousy at it. They don't work at it.
No, it's got to be a priority, and it is for Kevin Ollie. And I just think that's a lot of that has to do with his NBA background.
And it wins games. How many? Time after time have we seen it?
He's a brilliant offensive strategist. And I tell you what, he cares about his players. You know, players don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And Kevin Ollie, Brian Boatwright told me he's been like a father figure for me, and I'm playing for him.
Napier, nice drive, the bucket and the foul.
I'll tell you what, he knew where he was going, and he was going downhill all the way here. This is with the left hand. He takes the hoop and the arm. Jimmy McDonald puts a body on him right here, a little crossover step. That's why making tough twos, he's got a chance to play at the next level because he's creative and he can score with either hand.
You know, even if he doesn't end up playing in the NBA, he's got a great future in basketball. It is such an international game now.
But he's won at every level. You know, he won at Charlestown High School. He's won at UConn. I think he's just going to continue to be that kind of a winner, and he's just going to find a way. And you know what? He's not worried about it right now, which I think is a great thing. We see Marcus Smart, you know, worrying about proving to the NBA that he can make shots, and how he's going to prove he controls Temple. Shabazz Napier's not worried about that stuff. He's just worried about leading Kevin Ollie's basketball team. And those two guys, they have kept UConn basketball relevant.
Yes,
no Jim Calhoun, no Big East. They're in the American Conference. And you know what? They're a nationally ranked team. And they couldn't go to the tournament last year, and this year they are.
Great point. They've taken a lot of time off the clock in the last few possessions. And they have their biggest lead as a result, 52-38.
You know, it's not pretty. It is not pretty. It's traveled by Shabazz trying to go so fast. But like we talked about it before, Mike, on the one end, the visiting team with the lead is patient. On the other end, Temple's coming down and they're trying to get it back real quickly. And they've got 10 straight misses because they're not really running any offense. There is no spanking. It's just guys going one-on-one. It's my turn.
Yeah, Brown was really out of control on that last shot. Inbounds to Dalton Pepper. The fade away. Good job by Brima to change the arc of that shot. And it's out of bounds to Temple with 5:57 on the clock.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Fran Dunphy, say, you know what? This next shot is going to be a good shot. It's going to be a high percentage shot. We're going to turn one shot down and get somebody a better shot because these guys are just settling.
DeCozy with a runner. Got it.
Quinton DeCozy.
No, maybe not the shot they were looking for, but at least it went in.
Well, DeCozy at least got that sucker to the rim and gives his coach an opportunity to talk about what they might try to do defensively here. They've tried some full court pressure, but you're going to speed Shabazz Napier and Ryan Boatwright up. You're going to take the ball from those two guys, and that's been a huge difference from UConn. That was a difference in a matchup. The game you had last weekend, Mike, you had the game against Memphis.
Yes.
Boatwright and Napier just controlled the tempo against some of the best guards in the conference at Memphis.
That broke a drought of 9 minutes and 48 seconds. Let's bring Joe Lunardi in. Joe, the next one of these I get right will be the first one.
You and me both, Mike, but the team on the left, I think, has a pretty big game coming up in a few minutes. I recognize the conference wins and the strength of schedule. I think it's those BYU Cougars. The Cougs have some bad losses, all on the road. Baylor has some great wins, but they're 5-8 in their league. But Georgetown is losing. If BYU goes down later, we might see a couple additional Big 12 teams in the bracket before we put our head on the pillow in West Virginia and the Baylor Bears.
Can you make the tournament if you're 3 games under 500 in your own conference?
It's only happened twice in history, a team more than 2 games under making it, so I certainly wouldn't bet a mortgage payment on it.
Gonzaga BYU coming up next.
You know, a lot of times, Mike, they're trying to throw the conference records out, and they're just looking at the body of work. And, you know, for Baylor, they had some terrific non-conference wins, beat Kentucky, and that's been a real saving factor for them. That's why they're still in the hunt.
Pepper lost it on the way in, off of Temple, out of bounds. How do you throw the conference records out?
Well, you look at the body of work. You know, you don't look at how many teams are going to go from a particular conference or who finishes above who. I would imagine they'll look some at head-to-head within a conference, but I don't think they look, Joe, I don't know that they'd look at the conference records per se.
Well, they certainly look at the unbalanced schedules in a lot of these leagues. Now, of course, the Big 12 with 10 teams is playing a natural round robin. But what I would say is, with all the emphasis on the non-conference and who you schedule, well, the conference is still about 2/3 of the season, so it has to matter a fair amount. It's still your primary competitive set, and if you're not, 500 or better, I think you better have done something extraordinary outside your league.
Napier with a tough off-balance shot. The lead is 12. They're still within hailing distance. DeCozy with a drive, and he's fouled.
That's the one thing that Amita Bryant does a good job as a help defender, that secondary defender, is he will come over and he'll make those guys have to shoot tough twos at the rim. Where Amita's going to struggle is if they get a matchup where he's got a really big physical post that'll back him in and take him down deep, where he's the primary defender. He's terrific when he's coming off the ball and giving help on dribble penetration.
DeCozy with 8 points on the night. Make it 9, and the lead is cut to 10 points. And now they'll try a little tacit, at least full court pressure, looking for trap. 1-2-2 zone?
Yep, and you attack it with a 2-1-2%.
Chroma, pretty good ball hand. Defy out to Boatwright. Boy, with Boatwright and Napier, how do you press these?
You don't. Nothing you can do about it.
And then Boatwright and Boatwright.
He could have gotten that earlier, but he knows with the lead and on the road, they're going to run the shot clock down.
DeCozy, good head fake, got to the baseline, fouled by Napier, who pleads his 3:59 game. The lead is 12.
This before the night turns into Friday.
I'm telling you, I would not want to see any one of those 8 clubs in a first-round game. I mean, there's no cupcake in any of those matchups.
We know what the committee says, Bruce. You're not supposed to play bad teams in the tournament.
That's for sure. I've played a few.
DeCozy has scored the last 8 points for Temple. The lead is 11. Boatwright trying to sell a foul call and didn't get it. Chrome was a good ball handler. Bolt right into a double team. This is Gaffai. 10 to shoot.
A defensive possession by Temple.
The lob to Brima. Another assist for Shabazz Napier.
Well, again, ball screen top roll, and Brima is the only guy on the floor that can get that ball right there. And Shabazz Napier knows that, and that's why he puts it on the money.
Napier with 6 assists. DeCozy with a follow off the miss by Dalton Pepper on a timeout with 3:10 left. They're still hanging around, but those three-point shots have to go in if they're going to have an opportunity to make a comeback. Take a look at tonight's perfect play brought to you by Reese's, and this almost is perfect.
Well, he's got 6 assists, but I think I like the very first one of the game. DeAndre Daniels run on the floor. Anthony Lee and Devontae Watson are not hustling back. They're not sprinting. That's the first play right there. And I'll tell you one thing I love about it is creative, and look at the eyes. He is trying to look the defensive way. He's encouraging DeAndre Daniels to run the floor. He's just simply having fun out there on the basketball court, Mike.
And a perfect pass. And teammates appreciate a guy who sets him up like that so much, especially somebody who is the leading scorer on the team. He hasn't bothered to score much tonight, only 9, but he has 10 boards and 6 assists, really close to a triple-double, of which he has 2 in his career.
Yeah, he's right there. One more point and a couple more dimes. He's probably going to run out of time, but he just affects the game, and he never changes his pace.
Bad pass and a steal. DeCozy with the jam, the lead's 9.
Pass the ball. That's what you want to try to do here. If you're going to put the ball down the floor, go someplace with it.
Trying to double team if they can. The thing about Temple, you can't foul them. They're a great free throw shooting team. Brima. The foul will be on Lee. It's his 3rd.
That's his 3rd.
I think the thing is, you know, UConn is still playing basketball, and they're still trying to get high percentage looks. And with a spread floor, Brima's down there one-on-one, and again, he turns over the left shoulder with the right hand. You got to make him go the other way.
Brima, the only guy on the court for UConn who's not an exceptional free throw shooter.
See, I look at his footwork here. That's a travel. He got the ball and shuffled his feet, and the referees just gave him 2 free throws. That was a travel.
Pretty good defense by Daniels as well, I thought. 57-47 Lee. Should have been able to convert that, lost it on the way up. And now a double dribble call on Boatwright.
Well, those are the kind of plays that'll drive his coach, Kevin Ollie, absolutely crazy. Why? Why? Ryan, and he's going to listen to his coach, because guess what? His coach played the position. Carl Hobbs, terrific assistant coach, also played the position. And those are the kind of plays that they want a veteran point guard making.
They could have pulled it back out.
Absolutely.
20 seconds off the clock, and then got the shot. Pepper, nice drive, got it to Lee. Basket and the foul.
Well, the difference that time was Lee had his footwork set to be able to catch the ball and take it right up. It's all set up by the shot fake, penetration under control, and Lee has his footwork in a position where he can catch it. He doesn't have to put the ball down the floor, which is what he did last time when he turned it over. 3-point opportunity.
Nice wraparound pass by Dalton Pepper. This could cut it to 7. Temple not done yet. UConn will try to bleed some clock and then send somebody to the free throw line if they can, as the nation's 6th best free throw shooting team.
I think Fran's going to let this one run down, and then afterwards he's going to talk about maybe try to foul. Instead, UConn's going to call a timeout, and we're going to get a really good look from Kevin Ollie out of this one.
Yeah, Temple can't afford maybe one more possession of letting the clock run down and trying to play solid defense. After that, they have to foul because the clock is just so much against them.
Yep. And I think one of the things that I would do here if I was Fran Dumpy is I would not let UConn get this ball in on a side out of bounds cleanly. In other words, with 15 seconds left on the shot clock, UConn is going to be able to run some action to inbound the ball and then run some secondary action, which they like to do. If I was Fran Dumpy here, I think I'd make it difficult and maybe deny the basketball and maybe make them try to score right away off this inbound play.
Could you switch up what you've been doing? Could you go zone on this possession, or is that too dangerous?
Well, no, you could. I mean, you could throw them off to go zone, but they shoot the ball so well. I would try to make an aggressive play here, put some pressure on the basketball. I don't think it's something that UConn would be expecting. UConn's going to run some zipper action and then some more action to get a clean shot.
The lead is 7, and the standings, UConn, one of 3 teams with 4 losses. So, and the loss column is the only thing that counts.
Right.
SMU, Memphis, and UConn. Temple trying to stay out of the cellar. UCF at 2-11, 1 half game behind them.
Pepper's on the basketball. You know Napier's coming to the ball.
Napier bumped by Dalton Pepper, and that's the last thing they wanted.
Now it's UConn runs a zipper action. They put the ball in Shabazz Napier's hands, and once it gets there, it's hard to keep it out.
87.2% from the line for Shabazz Napier. The last person on UConn's roster that you want to foul.
I'll tell you what, he may not be the MVP of this league, because that might go to Sean Kilpatrick at Cincinnati.
That's terrific.
Could go to Russ Smith if they win it at Louisville. But I don't know that there's a more valuable player for any team in the country than Shabazz Napier.
It's his 7th double-double. 11 points, 10 rebounds. He's also chipped into 6 assists. Pepper, nice drive. Lost it on the way up, though. Gaffai kicks it out. And now they can put this away. Niels Gaffai with the fake, and they do the smart thing and bring it back out. Now Boatwright fouled by Brown. Not much degradation in percentage when you go to Boatwright. He's 77%. If you pick on Daniels, he's 77%. Gaffai at 72.7. And bring Calhoun off the bench. He's 76. Good luck in this strategy.
Well, and having Ryan out there, you've got an extra defender that is really terrific on the basketball. And there's 9 guys over there dressed in that Temple roster. 9 guys in uniform. 8 of them have played tonight. Fran Dumpy, he's just a depleted roster. He graduated 75% of his roster last year.
Cummings, the lead is 10. They need points. Cummings, fade away 2. Didn't get the back rebound. And Napier goes down.
Who gets the rebound? One of the littlest guys out there on the floor. I mean,
so he's got 11. That's 6'1", 180 pounds.
I mean, just he stays in it. Look at him reading it the entire time. I mean, Anthony Lee is the leading rebounder in the American Conference. He's 6'9" and got some of the longest, arms in college basketball. And somehow, Shabazz Napier climbs the ladder and gets up there.
I mean, he's just so smart. He knows he can't get that rebound because he didn't have really good position, but he kept it alive by knocking it off the backboard and getting a better angle to get it.
Yep. And my thing is, he's got the swag, he's got the confidence, he's got great IQ. And when he does, he empowers the rest of his team. It's like, when UConn is a competent basketball team because they know they got number 13 on their side, and you don't.
Desperation time for the Owls. 104 left. Pepper and DeCozy, their best 2 outside shooters, and DeCozy's get a layup.
Temple calls a 60-second.
You know, sometimes, Mike, you don't have to score to have great impact on a basketball game. And Shabazz Napier is just his tempo. He's under control. He's running his club. And he's throwing the ball up at the rim where nobody else can get it. And he's got a nose for the basketball. Just a loose ball here. The rebounding. He's 6'1", and he climbs over Anthony Lee there. And then he can knock down the tough two. That's with the left hand. That is with the offhand. Makes him such a very, very difficult cover. And you see, Mike, where he ranks in the American Conference.
First in assists, second in points and free throw percentage, third in steals. We haven't even talked about steals tonight. He's in the top 10 in free throw percentage, and he leads his team in rebounds. He's 13th in the conference at 6'1". He is on all the final lists. The Wooden Award, the Naismith Award, the Oscar Robertson Award. You name it, he's in the finals for it, and he deserves to win certainly some of them.
You know which one I'd love to see him get? I'd love to see a young man from Roxbury, Massachusetts, Charlestown High School, win the Bob Cousy Award as the nation's best point guard. You know, it would sort of be fitting for all that he's gone through as a player. I mean, look, 2 years ago when Kevin Ollie took the job and they weren't going to the NCAA tournament, they either transferred out or went early to the NBA, and he stayed. He stayed with his coach. They won. He got him his contract. And I'm telling you, Kevin Ollie is destined for greatness in this game.
They only started keeping assists as an official statistic in the 69 and 70 season. But since then, and that's been 44 years, no UConn player has led his team in scoring, assists, and rebounding. None. There have been some pretty fair to middle of players come through the UConn program.
It really has.
It's not like they've been wandering in the desert.
Now, you know, growing up close to UConn, he understands the history tradition that there. He told me, he said, the greatest strength for this team is their togetherness, their chemistry. They really, really work hard together. They believe in one another. They trust one another. And they know they can't do it just with one guy.
Gonzaga and BYU follows our game. We're under a minute with a 12-point lead. Peppers in the corner for three. Got it. Pretty good effort tonight by Temple, but you can see the shortcomings they have with that very, very thin bench.
Yeah, Fran Dumpy this is a frustrating year for Fran. He's just never, ever experienced this.
No.
I mean, 6 straight NCAA tournament teams at Temple. And you know, he's still getting to compete. They had a great win at home on Sunday over SMU. He's a teacher. And he's not quitting on this team. He's got some really good kids sitting out, got some transfer, and they're going to be better. And you can see, I mean, he has built this program year by year, and they've been just terrifically consistent. The roster just finally caught up with him. Too many guys graduated, and those guys are all overseas. You know, Hollis Jefferson, T.J. DeLeo, Scotty Randall.
66-55, Cummings bricks the three. DeCozy tried to keep it alive, but Napier comes out with it. Gaffai ahead of the pack. 7 assists for Napier. Going to come up just shy of another triple-double. That'll do it. A valiant effort at home by Temple. But UConn, number 21 in the country, gets win number 21 for Kevin Ollie. They are 21-5, 9-4 in the American Conference. The final score here in Philly, 68-55 for Bruce Pearl and our entire crew. This is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching. Now we send you to the studios. Steve Weissman, Dan Dockich, and Andy Katz.